I'm gonna start it by saying, Jared the Elf, what's your favorite color?
All right, we we have gone live, so I'm gonna start it with that. Like I said,
Do it. Do it.
ready in 3, 2.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon.
Nope. You're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be in
yeah.
it.
What's up? Oh man, I just hit the mic. My bad. Hey, nobody cares.
Not much.
Nobody cares.
Not
Stream
much.
number 4.
All right, trying again.
Yeah.
Jared the Elf, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is backup.
Sweet.
All right.
Back up. Well, Merry Christmas Eve.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, I did have earlier. I did have sweet ass Christmas music going. But we screwed
Hold on,
that stream.
I gotta light a candle.
We screwed that stream up. So we had to kind of delete it. Oh, geez, what's going on over here? You about to tell me a spooky story?
Sure.
Let me put my headphones on.
What is with this candle right here? Look at this. My God. Okay, it's toned down a bit. It's not as impressive, but I thought it was for a second.
What kind of camera is it? Candle is it?
A Kringle.
Hey.
Balsam fir, baby. The
You're
first
so-
light of the candle, I think. Maybe not.
You're so earthy. You were like, who's trying to go to Yankee? Even though it's right down the street. Isn't that so annoying? And wasn't Kringle the originators of Yankee Candle?
Yeah, so Yankee sold it to somebody big, and the founders of it, the son actually started Kringle. So he's about north, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of Yankee. So, like, this area we have Yankees just north of us, like northwest,
Hey, can I ask you?
and Yankees kind of southwest.
Can I
It's
ask you a
weird.
question? What is Hillary watching?
We're watching Elf.
Oh, I heard some yelling in the background. I was like, "What the hell is
Yes,
that?"
that is the best Christmas movie ever made.
Mm.
I'm sorry for everybody else's opinions, but that's mine. Nice Jameson you got there. Kenny.
Thanks. I gotta switch the camera back. I was just getting opening Christmas presents from our neighbors, and they got us
nice.
some stuff. So yeah.
That's awesome. I'm not doing presents this year, so
No, but I know.
it's been fun. Yeah. But
It's alright. You can make up for it next year.
next year.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. We'll do that. But just to let you know, we were talking about Kringle candle, Yankee candle. I like to plug an ad here about Dickwick candles. Dickwick candles is coming at you in all scents. Dickwick candles, you dip yourself. Dip your own wick in a warm wax for a pleasant look and a perfect scent. Your girlfriend or boyfriend will definitely be impressed with the homemade candles. Try your new our new scents. There's Lil Dip. There's the next one is the Wiccan Stick, and the soon to be favorite Big Dip. Dipwick. You know there's no such thing as an ugly candle.
Wow.
Back at it. Sorry about that. Just had to
I
plug
think
that.
I might have messed that up with the transition. That was funny. I'm like paying attention, and I thought it was on you because I'm looking at you, but I don't know.
It's all good.
Hey, we both did a drink break.
So What do you have planned for tomorrow? What's your Christmas like?
Well, due to YouTube and Facebook COVID restriction laws, nothing. I'm staying home. My family is going to quarantine. We're going to wear masks and we're going to exchange gifts. And we're not going to leave the house. We actually bought bulletproof glass to put on all the windows so no air from the outside gets in. And like it's not that great because there's like a little mold and it just, but we keep it alive. You know what I'm saying? It's better than getting COVID, right? You get mold now, you don't know. You get COVID now, you're done.
Yeah, I mean the bulletproofing really helps with the virus infiltration. If a bullet can't get in,
The
virus can't.
the virus can't. Yo, my favorite thing about the virus is it's like the old cell phones where you could talk unlimited talks and text, but it was after like a certain time.
Yeah. It's like wait till 11 at night. Everything's free.
Yeah, all my calls were like, "Yo, you better call me back at like
I'll call you at 11, all right? Give me a minute. It's 10:30. We're so close. Just stop it."
Yeah.
Or the walkie-talkies we used to always use. 1 minute a day.
No,
or $1 a day.
Yeah, $1 a day.
Use it once, it's $1, but you can use as much as you want.
Dude, that used to be so funny because we were roommates and we would just be in the room over. I'm like, chirp. I'm like, chirp. What up?
I remember being at work and it's like beeping and beeping and beeping. I'm like, I just gotta go in the back room.
I had something
answer this call.
really important to tell you. What was it?
It wasn't really. It was like, hey, later, Halo. Yup.
Pretty much. Forever, the Nextel is just gonna be for me. The Nextel is just gonna remind me of Halo 2. I'm like, yeah. You remember the chirp? Like, yeah, I definitely do. It's from. I just got I'm looking at my messages on my Facebook, and I just got a message from somebody that is really funny. Like, not the
nice. Read it on there.
I don't even want to open it. I'm trying to leave that shit on red. Like, I ain't listening to that. You better keep that noise.
I remember that Nextel phone was so revolutionary to me. Like the walkie-talkie feature, right? This was a flip phone, by the way. It wasn't nothing special. But it would tell me my speed when I drove around. So I would drive around in my car and hold it out the window and see how close to my speedometer it was.
Yeah, so
and it, like, dumbfounded me how close it was.
So, like, it also had a feature, like, when I would go someplace that I wasn't, like, familiar with or haven't been to a lot of times, you could set, like, a location. So you would drop a pin exactly where you were, and then you could just kind of, like, follow the map back to where you were. It was super weird.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time.
That's awesome. I don't remember doing it, but I probably dabbled with that.
Oh yeah, we were.
I remember you doing it. I think for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, no, man, we can get back. I saved the location.
I dropped the pin, man.
Yeah.
Just reverse that.
Google just bought all that random shit up. They were like, oh, that location, buy it. Like, if you look into it, it's probably like a subsidiary of Google or whatever.
Which I'm sure I know what you're talking about.
Just all of it, like the random stuff, like
really?
Location. Well, you know how like Facebook bought WhatsApp and they bought Instagram, so like they're like, man, that's hot. People like it, and they're like, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, have you seen anything on this new stimulus bill? Or but the denial or whatever it's called?
A little bit of it. It was 600, then it was denied, and like
the 600 was
the president vetoed it.
No,
the 2,000, and then the Dems were like, yeah, 2,000. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. The 600 was approved by both, but then Trump vetoed it, and he said that there's too much money going to foreign places, and I think it was local and state. They were like, what's all this money? And so,
right, and it was true when they listed it. Even I think you and Joel talked a little bit about it last stream, and it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, what is that money for?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't like. Why don't they say what it's for? They're just like, nope, 500 million to you,
Here we go.
100 million to you.
So check this out.
Like,
The whole day, all I kept hearing was GOP denied the bill, GOP, blah, blah, blah. They were just saying the Republicans didn't approve the bill. But what they didn't
Right.
tell you is what one of the amendments they added to the bill was looking into where that money was going and who's sending this money. So basically,
Okay.
you had to put your name on your part of the bill. And
okay,
they didn't say that. They just kept saying GOP doesn't want you to have $2,000. When in reality, they were just doing what the people wanted. The people said, yo, what the fuck's up with this money and where's it going? And the GOP was like, all right, we'll amend it. You guys have to put your name on it and you have to let us know where this stuff's going. And they were like, fuck that, bro.
right? They'll never say that.
Yeah. And they're like,
So there goes the bill.
Mm-hmm. It's so crazy because I always think to myself too, like they know this shit in advance. They know what's gonna.
Yep.
They know who's gonna vote which way. They know what's gonna happen. So it's like, what's the point? It's like the vaccine.
It's all a show. It's all a play.
It's
They're
like,
all freaking their own puppets.
but it's like the vaccine clips they're showing where people are getting like fake vaccinated. They didn't take the cap off or they don't press it down because there's nothing in the syringe. And it's like, what? Yeah, dude. Go on the YouTubes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they're putting it online, and like people are like, like you can't put stuff online anymore. People are like taking it, zooming in, like cropping it so you just see the syringe, and they're like, dude, the cap's not even off, or like they're not pressing it. Everyone's getting different amounts of the same vaccine. Like somebody's getting a third, another one gets a half, another one gets the full thing. They're like, what's the amount? Why is everyone getting different stuff?
Wow.
Yeah, when you get a chance.
Yeah, I'll check that out. That stuff like that makes me mad because honestly, most of what we're told about our government is lies, and most of them are just crooks. They're just there to stay there because there's no term limits, and when they're there, they just want to make money off of it. So it doesn't matter. They're all in it for a reason, and even if they don't have really any reason to, they're in the pockets of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst. True. Yeah, we need term limits in this country bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah.
That would solve a lot, I think. So.
Yeah, that's why I got so excited when they said they were gonna recall Gavin Newsom, and they were trying to do the same thing to Comey. And it's like, whatever, you shouldn't take their job, but the people need to be reminded that the government is nothing without us. So. If you don't have anyone to govern, you're just you're a normal person. So we give them their power. And so just saying that we're going to recall, not us, but our like-minded people, just saying that they're going to recall Gavin Newsom is like, whoa, they got to step back and like, hey man, these guys are fucking flexing on us right now. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. It's a weird time because I think we're in a transition of something, something different. So it's the what do you call it? It'd be the waves, waves before the change, or the.
Can you tell Hillary to get some headphones? No, I'm just kidding. Every time it gets crazy, it's just like, I'm like, oh man.
Sorry, this movie's all over the board. So like right now, Santa came, so like you can hear all the reindeer just like charging in, and it's almost over. So
yeah,
here it comes again.
That's definitely one of like Heather's favorite movies. It's a lot of people's favorite movies, and
it's a great Christmas movie.
No, I've seen it. I just don't remember much of it.
It's hilarious. I think it's too fast. It's only like an hour and a half, hour 36 minutes.
What are you trying to have a two-parter of Elf?
No, I feel like okay, we watch so many shows, right? We watch so many like seasons of shows, and you watch like, okay, say you watch 2 episodes of any season. Most episodes are 45 minutes to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So like a whole movie, if it's less than 2 hours to me, is garbage. Because what did you do? Is your wife killing your kids right now? Is everything all right?
Yo, this mic is crazy, bro. I don't know what's going. I can't even hear that because I have headphones on, but I'm sure it's pretty epic.
It's Christmas Eve. That's what it is.
Yeah, they've been. Today I tried to. We got Chinese food because I was like, yo, let's just. She wanted to do some baking, and it's like too much kitchen stuff, and the kitchen's a mess, and everyone's just like grossed out. So I was like, yo, let's just get food real quick. So
I was really thinking about Chinese earlier, but like last week, I don't know what it was. We got Chinese like twice. Like we never do it, and then we got it twice, and then like the second time, or maybe even 3 times. But the last time, I was like up all night, like puking, dude. And I was like, no, I'm good. No more of that.
Where'd you get it from? Just around where you live. You don't have to be specific.
Just around. Not gonna say any names. I think it was a fluke thing, and honestly, I think it was the beer. I had a few beers from this local brewery out in Northampton, and honestly, I think it was the beers because the next day or a few days later, because I was feeling like crap, I had one because there was one left, and then I felt like crap again. So I want to say it could have been a bad beer, but
I don't know if I've ever gotten one of those.
yeah, I didn't think it was possible. But I steer clear of that brewery because it's not that good. And then this time I'm like, all done. Not going back to that. This feels like a Jameson ad. Sponsored.
My bad.
Sponsored by Jameson, everybody. Just to let you know.
It was
the red cap caps off the experience. It's delicious stuff.
It was a cool gift. What can I say?
Oh, you got that as a gift? Nice.
Yeah, I poured most of it into another container, into like a different one, so I just wasn't sitting here. If you see it, there's not that much in here, because I didn't want to be like,
yep,
getting super trashed, and I can't trust myself, so I gotta like, you know.
We have another ad here about a candle company called Dickwick.
I thought the other one was Dipwick.
Initially it was Dipwick, and I changed it to Dickwick. So I'm not sure which one is ideal yet.
Hey, can I get an update on Cyberpunk?
Sure. Haven't touched it, so it's kind of sad. Originally I was a little bit in denial, like how bad it was. I mean, it's bad, but it's also good. So my stance on it hasn't changed. The problem with it is it's not immersive enough to pull you into the world like a Witcher. The Witcher was incredible, and that game to this day I have very fond memories of it. So I was hoping and expecting something to pull me in, and I don't know. It just hasn't pulled me in. I don't know why. I don't know. It's almost like it's a cool game, but at the core of it doesn't really have much of a soul. Whereas The Witcher, like you felt like you were there. It had a soul. You could do things that if you were good enough, you could do, even though you weren't supposed to. So it gave you a false sense of the real world almost. Like I remember starting the game and fighting a bear that it said I would die, and I hit that bear for like 30 minutes trying to kill that thing, and I finally killed it because I would just dodge all of its attacks. I knew what it would do, and then I knew what I could do, even though it wasn't that much. And at the end, after killing that bear, it's like one of the best memories of that game I had, and it was the stupidest thing in the world. It was a bear I found in the woods that was wicked high level. But that experience is what was capturing, and that's missing from a lot of games now. So I think it's missing kind of that.
The thing that annoyed me about that game was the best part about it. But in order to be good, at Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft, you have to play all the time. Like, that's the only way to be better than other people. You can't just... It's not like a FPS where everyone's pretty much the same, kind of. But, like, I would get into a battle, and I would have, like, the wrong sword out, or I wouldn't have the right buff on, and then I wouldn't, like, oil my sword the right way. And I was like... It was so easy if you were going to spend the time and figure it out.
Yeah, you definitely can't. So it is one of those. It's a very in-depth game where you can't drop it for 3 months and then pick up where you left off.
No,
You kind of get to jump back in and relearn a few things because it's complex for sure. Yeah, and that kind of feeds into Cyberpunk. Honestly, I think Cyberpunk they did go into that area where you could drop it and jump back in and be just fine. To a point, it is challenging. It is. I played on normal. It was way too easy. Hard, and very hard, or a little bit more challenging. But the challenge is just not there. It's not like I don't know. I think maybe a normal mode should be challenging. Like hard should be really hard. It shouldn't. Like there shouldn't be variations of hard. I mean, maybe extreme or hardcore or something crazy, but
yeah.
What I'm trying to say is maybe it appeals to a little bit more of the masses to just pick up and go, rather than like The Witcher. The problem with The Witcher 2 is a lot of people didn't finish the story. There was so much to do, you could literally get lost in that game, and not even finish it. So they shortened this one, this version of their game, totally different franchise, but still, and to the detriment of themselves. Honestly, they just didn't put the heart and the soul into it, which I thought they had. They're working on it for so long. I really thought they had it. It's pretty sad.
Well, they were probably, when they developed The Witcher, they were working on older technology that they probably didn't have to optimize or tweak that much. And it just seems like there's so much in Cyberpunk that it's like they're making cookies. But it's not like saying they're playing God, but it's like playing God. Putting detail to every single like can or wall or bench or just anything. There's detail in the glitch videos, and I did watch a shit ton of glitch videos, and they made me laugh. But there's just so much detail.
So I don't want to distract from how amazing it is. The city itself is incredible. Like I drive around it, and it's humongous, and every inch of it has something in it. There's not like nothing in it. There's no real areas where there's nothing. There's suburbs, and like there's just different things there that you got to see. But it is amazing, like what they did with that city. The problem is the rest of it kind of just wasn't fleshed out yet. It's just too early. But what they did with it is impressive. There's a point in it where if you go to there's an amusement park, you can fix up a roller coaster, excuse me, and then ride it. And just stuff like that. That's what people want. People want to be immersed into a world.
So all I'm saying is, though, the thing that sucks for Cyberpunk is that most creators now are gonna, I don't want to say learn from their mistakes, but basically just build off the platform they made. Like they made the dopest topsoil or clean fill that you could ever find, and now these next companies are just like, oh, we just have to fix this, and we're gonna make it. Look at the there's some game. What's it called? There's a mobile game, and they basically took the Legend of Zelda, like the whole look, the styling, everything.
Yeah, there's I think I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of it.
I think it's called Genshin Impact.
Yes. That game is pretty crazy for a mobile game. That is,
Yeah, I played it for a minute, but I was like, it takes too much. Anything that takes too much time, I'm just like, I can't, because you just.
that's why the future is jumping in. That's why battle royales are huge because you can jump in and out, and you don't feel like you're missing out.
Well, and it's so much different than 4-on-4 because you die
Yeah,
and then the game's over, and then there's like all these buildings with closets and stairwells, and it just makes like before you thought there was like clench points or am I playing? Oh no. Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm playing that Genshin Impact right now.
yeah,
Um, but there's just like you'll be like covering a stairwell and I'm like covering a window or like in the corner and it's just so much more intense than normal just
right.
match. It's
I
like
think I think the future is going to be more of an open world you can explore and run into other people's when you have the time, but also one of the main aspects of it is going to be jump in match made like thing. And in that match made, you maybe level up a little bit, you gain a few levels, and you pop out. So like that's it's really a mix of both, but it's in a form where it is almost match made, so you can have that in and out and not feel like you're losing out. I mean, somebody can just go in and just play a bunch, but like if somebody plays a bunch or not, you have to respect that decision and give them credit for playing a bunch. So like
mm,
that scavengers game that's coming out is crazy because it has like that PvE match made with a little bit of PvP in it where you like every match you like level up a little bit and
bless you.
you can
God bless you.
yeah. Rich says bless you. She says thank you.
I heard
So
her.
I don't know. I think that's where everything's going because of that. People want to jump in, have a good time, and jump back out.
Yeah, and like I said,
But also have that progression.
that detail when you're like in a house and just all the detail is just like, for me, it's so intense when
Yeah.
you're actually because I'm so used to running and gunning because I've been playing matchmaking since I was forever ago. Because you just come back and that's just how I'd play, but you can't play that way, and so like
Yeah.
being a camper was always considered like, dude, bad form. Like, come on, play the game.
Right. Right.
But in
Yep.
battle royale, after a certain amount of time, you're camping, and I have to get
To a
used to that.
to a point. Yeah. Yeah. That is a huge swing. I mean, especially the problem the difference is like a lot of these match made or royales like you jump in, okay, you have that one life, but like it only takes a few seconds to die. If you didn't see that person behind you and they get the jump,
Hmm.
it's over. It's not like they had better skill than you. They just happen to fall upon you when you're backwards turned. And
And
that to me is infuriating. I hated that.
well,
So
think about life though. You used to have the British and the Spanish armies. They would come. They would all line up. And they would like, fill their musket and then shoot each other in a line. And then they
mhm.
got into America, and these natives were like jumping out of trees and fucking ninjaing people. And they were like, I guess this whole lining up shit doesn't work well. We should
Right.
probably do some
Yeah.
guerrilla warfare, as they called it like that. And probably just meant like,
I've never that's a cool point. I never thought about it from that vantage point. It's almost like an evolution of the battle.
yeah,
It's
it's
interesting.
it's
Yeah.
these games are so realistic, and we even play. I remember when you would have bullet marks on the wall, and you're like, "Oh shit, dude! When I shoot, it doesn't just disappear; it stays there."
Yeah.
And at the
It's cool.
beginning, it would only stay there for like 15 seconds, but now those files are huge, and it just stays there for like a while.
Mhm.
And in the new
Mhm.
games, you can destroy like telephone poles, and it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty crazy what's being done, what's being created.
And once VR gets set, or at least what's the other one called? AR, augmented
Mhm.
reality. Yeah, because
Mhm.
I always envisioned, and someone's gonna steal this or not, but pretty much like a camping chair, but it was kind of slouched back even farther. Like those.
Mhm.
Remember that chair that Jesse had in his room? Where it was like the base, and then the other thing that went on top.
Like a pop song. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. But anyway, one of those, and then you,
Yeah.
and then it would be like tent material in the front of it, and you have a projector. So you'd be laying back kind of, and you would have a projector in front of you that could curve around. And it was just like a little pod that you went into. And
That was cool.
before I thought of, they have these new haptic feedback, like vests or stuff that you can buy. I was watching the ad, but like while you're listening to music, it pumps like vibration, like the bass into your body.
That's crazy.
So before, I just wanted to have the speakers behind your head, and then the sub on your underneath you, so then you would feel the vibration and you'd be in it. But like, I feel that's the future. Pot it up.
I think you're right. I think the problem with that though is we're gonna get people. There's always people there. Sorry, there's already people that are in like PC cafes in Asia that like guide them because they never leave.
Yeah.
I fear for people when that hits the fan because it's gonna be so real. They're gonna unplug and be like, "This is the fake reality."
Dude, but it's just another addiction. It's one of the things I came to recently when you look at big people, large people, and you're like, oh, those fatties. But in like, I'm just being nice, but like it's just another addiction. It's so like you can't stop smoking or you can't stop drinking. This motherfucker can't stop eating. We all have addictions.
Yeah.
And it's like that's been
But we already do. Like everything is an addiction, and most of our science and most of our like extreme science, they're addicted to what they do. They even, I would say further, obsessed.
Well, all I'm saying is that's what the next addiction is going to be.
Yeah.
And I just have faith in the human race that it's just going to be a percentage. There's only a percentage of people that does heroin and smokes weed and drinks. So hopefully these it's like, was it, Inception, where they went to that cafe in like India and the people were just dreaming all day?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what it is, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there will be a percentage of that. I think the average person will still dabble. But the future of it in general is some kind of character you can latch on and play in multiple scenarios. Maybe even multiple games. Imagine having a character you play in multiple different games that you created. I never thought about that till now, but like almost like a D&D character. You're like, oh, let me plug it into this game.
Think about this. I've never thought about this, but think about this. It might be like a kind of training that we're going through right now with everyone getting body modifications and like altering their ass and their tits and the CRISPR. And then plastic surgery on the face and stuff. You're kind of like designing your own character to an extent. And they're just... A lot of people say the whole trans agenda is actually transhumanist agenda. And they're just going to sneak it in after. Because they want you to be cool with like... you can...
I don't even think they need to. There's already people lining out the door for that crap.
What was that show on Netflix with the guy, Carbon? Was it called I think it was called Carbon.
Altered
Carbon.
Carbon. Yeah. Yep.
And they just... Yeah. And he would just pop into bodies.
That's crazy. Can we do a little bit of a few minute like intermission maybe? I need like 1 minute and I'll be right back.
All right.
I'll be right back.
What's the camera on? The camera's on me, so. All right.
All right, there you go. I'll be right back. Promise. Yoink. Just kidding.
Let earth receive her king. Let every heart prepare.
Whack.
Looking for royalty-free
Really, bro?
music? Check out Epidemic Sound.
No, obviously.
Discover over 30,000 tracks and
Silent night.
Terrible. Yeah, I tried. I'm trying to be in the Christmas spirit, but it's just...
This is a cardinal sin of EDM.
Where's that T-Pain? Pizzle packs. Yeah, here we go. Pizzle Pack Volume 2. This shit slaps. Ooh, Pastor. Where's that song? Level. Load faster. That's all.
All right, I'm sorry about that. I'm back.
Yo, I was just getting into this music.
Sorry about that.
Alright.
So, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about 21?
Oh, 2021. You know, it gets. Sorry. Yeah, sure. That sounds good to me.
What I want to say to everybody is 2020 didn't exist. So, if you're going to turn 40 this year, you're actually not. You'll turn 40 in 2022. So, subtract 2020 from your calendars.
And
That's what I'm doing.
you get a year back, so you're actually 38.
I love it even
Holla.
more. Brilliant. That's
thing,
great.
My thing is people who are like 2021 is gonna be better than 2020, and it's like, bro, it's just like a border. They're just imaginary lines that we set up. Like, I guess it's a new year. We're moving into a new sign, but deep down inside, to me, I'm just like, same shit, different day.
I don't. Been such a shit year. I personally, I haven't stopped working, and some people have, and it's. I mean, everybody's side of the fence is what they feel. So I don't blame anybody or for anything, but it's funny when you hear people complain about staying home so much.
So what do you think? Well, let me ask what you think about that payment then.
Which payment?
The $600 one that got unanimously passed.
It's a joke. That's a slap in the face to
Why?
all Americans. Why? Because it ain't even close to enough. There's so many people who haven't gotten anything. And even the people who've gotten some, it's just, what does that do? Like, can we add that up? Like, what's a 40-hour week?
Yeah, I said this to Joel yesterday, but it's like I heard. I think it was on the Breakfast Club. It was like $600. You can't even buy a PS5 with $600. Like, what are you gonna do with that? Whose rent is that gonna pay?
Nobody.
That's a couple Christmas.
That's not even,
me Christmas presents. Like, oh, you didn't have the money, so you got that you can go get some Christmas. That's what that is.
right. Yep.
But my problem is and remains all the money going to other places. I know there's two bills that were passed, the omnibus and the stimulus, but they fucked up passing them together because people are really looking at this shit like, what are you talking about? Why are you giving $30 million to the JFK Center and $1 billion or whatever to the museum? What's it called? The National, like, I get it, but they're not even open. So what are you just archiving? Just the amazingness of 2020 and your takeover?
Yeah. The weird part is I don't know, like, where's the money going into these countries too? It could be going for good.
No.
Just
No.
I'm giving them off the. I agree, but from the onset, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Okay.
Yeah.
And who's it going for? Like, what's the benefit here?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing that happened with the bailouts. The bailouts were a sham, and everyone gave themselves, or everyone in the banking industry or the corporate industry just gave the execs the bailout. Like, that's what happened. They gave them the bailout and they gave it to their execs, and still cried about them collapsing. Like, if you're a company and the economy tanks, you're gonna fold. You have to fold. That's the point. Like, the government shouldn't be stepping in and saving anybody. Just like they're not. You see them trying to save all small businesses. If you're gonna save anybody, that's the one that counts. Those are the ones that keep everyone going.
So I told
like
you,
if you're like $1 trillion industry or whatever, and you're folding because you just can't handle it,
yeah.
It's time to scale back.
Yeah,
like you failed.
That's the amazing thing about. I think about that too, but just progress and there's a word for it, efficiency. Because I go to my job, obviously 5 days a week, and it's a decent sized building, but there's only 4 drivers and 3 people that work in the office, and they tell me stories, and there's like pictures everywhere of back in the day. There was like 80, 100 people that worked in that building, and there's just the same 8 of us or 7. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just like efficiency. Like, we lost 2 people, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna post the jobs," and then we were kind of like, fine, because everything's been slowing down so much, and they're just like, they just unposted the jobs. And we were like, "Hey, are you gonna get another driver?" And they're like, "No, you're doing fine."
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, they're smart enough to scale back and realize where they are. It sucks for the people who, like, say they joined up yesterday and they got to scale back again. They're done, but that's the nature of work. You know, you can't have a giant corporation with 3,000 employees and then be like, "Oh, we're gonna collapse if we can't handle this." It's like, well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to scale back some and figure your shit out. Like, we're not just gonna give you $3 trillion so everyone can continue to work. But that's the nature of that. Unfortunately, that's the only way, like, companies and people can weed out the weaker companies, and it only increases the field which you're in, and increases what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for like a productivity, but no, it's like more of amongst that region. So say I was GM, like if I'm GM and I have a bunch of people working for me, and like Ford comes over and they're gonna I think Ford's one of the only companies who's never taken a bailout because they are basically owned by the government, but that's a different discussion. The same workforce, the same maybe field, it doesn't. I kind of lost where I was going with that, but
I can pick up.
Yeah, go for that.
And I totally feel you, and I think that's a great part of evolution of the business model, and it's driven by growth. Companies, for the investors,
competition. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for.
Oh,
yeah.
But the investors set the growth rate every year for the company, and then if you don't meet that expected growth rate, then you're doing bad.
Right, you failed. Yeah.
But it's like, why do we have to grow every year?
Well, a lot of that stems from subsidies from the people. It's the same thing with like the military. If they don't meet certain quotas, they'll just like start pushing shit into the ocean. They'll be like, "Oh, we don't need these planes. They're the old ones anyway. So push the $20 million ones over because we got $50 million left to spend, and we need that new plane."
Yeah, we can jump.
That's real.
We can jump back, but it's hilarious to me when people tell me that police don't, or like local cops don't have quotas, but you don't see these motherfuckers until the 1st, the 15th, or the 30th, depending on in what part of the rotation they're there. And then on the 15th, around their 4-day window, and the 30th, you see people pulled over all the time. But then the other days, nobody's pulled over.
So some of that, think about it like this way. So they're not gonna, when you join up, like say I became a cop tomorrow, like they're not gonna tell me like this is your quota, but at the end of the week, or let's say the end of the month, they're gonna be like, "Oh well, Jimmy, You got 4 stops. He raked in like $6,000 off of those. What'd you do?
Mm.
And then it becomes like okay, I gotta produce a little bit more because clearly, like Jimmy's doing a lot better than I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really. I don't think. I think that's right. I don't think they have quotas, but I do think they have a sense of like this guy's doing better than you. Like, what have you been doing? Kind
Well,
of thing.
It's like
For
anything
sure.
when you go to Dunkin' Donuts or you go to
Yeah.
this place and they have that little clock on the wall and you're always like, what the fuck's that clock for? And it's like, hey, we want you to get these orders out in this amount of time. It should, or like
Yep.
when you're ringing on a register and it's like, this is green. You should, every transaction should be within this time. They do the same thing
Right.
to the cops. Like, hey, every
Yep.
month you need to have this many interactions with people. And
Right, and I think that comes in off of almost like they look at everything I did for the month. It's not like they're told like, oh, you got to get this amount, but they are looked at about how much they like produced.
Well, they still,
For sure.
most of them are private entities, so they still have to pay bills. So they're
Right.
just
Right.
they're just paying their salary, paying their bills. Obviously, they get subsidies from the state and local government, but
Yep.
they're still. They probably. I've never looked into it and I never thought of it, but you can probably buy into like police officer shares on the stock market.
That would be crazy.
I'm gonna
I
do
certainly hope not, but you're probably totally right.
police. I've never thought of it, but like, what would we call it?
Maybe the union.
That's what I put in.
Yeah.
Oh, and I
that's-
put in stalk. Well, I put in
Stalk.
stack. My bad.
the police stock.
Oh man.
Hey, it's Christmas Eve. We're going wild, people. Okay. We got
What-
drinks in us.
Oh.
Shit's getting real. Pull up your diapers.
The Police Credit
Right.
Union select NCR for elite digital banking experience. The Police Credit Union selects NCR. NCR Corporation.
What are you seeing in there? Hey,
Yeah.
everybody, say hi to Hillary. Her face is right there.
Who's that? Did you guys
Oh,
watch?
she gave a kiss to everybody.
Hey, what is she
I'm
watching?
jealous.
Sex in the City or some like? She
Uh,
watching
yeah.
Gilmore Girls. Heather's always like, "Oh, you want to watch this with me?" I'm like,
Yup.
"Not at all." Like, what is it? She's like, "Oh, it's what is she watching now?"
She's got the puppy now. There's the puppy. Oh, so this isn't too loud. Hold on. Coda.
He's asleep, bro. She got him lit.
He's looking, but I got him like 4 toys today for Christmas. So.
Were they CBD laced?
They were not. That does not work well for him. When he was a puppy, I smoked, and I might be admitting to a little bit of animal cruelty. But I packed a bowl and I didn't realize that I was already super high, so I dropped a bunch on the carpet. And he was like 3 months old, and we looked over, and he's standing in the other side of the room, like sitting. Sorry, he's sitting in the other side of the room, staring at us. And he would like, it's a good thing my camera's on, but his legs were down, and he was sitting there, and he's looking at us, and slowly he's just like this.
Oh no, I switched the camera. No, damn it.
Okay, do it again. I'll show you. He just tipped over, like he was just.
All right.
He would sit there and he'd just tip, and he would slowly tip until he fell all the way down, and then he'd pop back up. It's like, oh. And then he would sit, and he was like, I felt so bad because it took him a while. Huh? Come here. Hold on, let me see if I can get him up here. Come here. He doesn't jump up much because he's old.
Yeah. That's how Cyrus is. I went and seen him
Yeah,
today,
Cyrus.
and he just
You
kept,
saw Cyrus?
yeah, he just kept rubbing his ears on the carpet, and my sister was like, "Oh, I have to clean his ears like every other day. It's so annoying. He just makes
Yep.
so much wax," and she's like, "All the
Yep.
time, it's just pouring out."
Yep.
And it really, irritates him.
Yeah, mine has. That's the only problem that Coda has. Actually, he's got really big ears, so he gets ear infections. We have medicine for him, but it's a losing battle because it's just so big. And he, like, if he sleeps on his right ear, he'll wake up and he's like all messed up. His ear hurts, so he like rubs it on everything. So I wake up at like 2 a.m. and he's just like, all I hear is his body flopping around upstairs. So I get up, I give him his meds, and
it just started for Cyrus too. Like,
yeah, that's weird, especially because he doesn't have much of an ear.
No, but like anytime he would we would go to the house, you know, he would just be not. He wouldn't hear you, and you would like walk around the house, and like he just would be laying there. And then she brought him, and she's like, "Man, I think he went deaf." And they're like, "Oh no, he just got earwax, and he just builds it like a, I don't know, like a sandcastle."
He's a dog version of me. I got bad problems.
Dude, when you get older, it gets weird. Like your nose hairs start growing, your ear hairs. Heather's always trying to pluck some ear hairs off me. I'm like, bro, if you don't back up,
this is gonna get weird quick, but that's all true.
He's like, my ass hair grows like crazy. I gotta have Hillary trim it all the time. It just sneaks around my cheeks and tries to go into my pockets.
Rip it off.
That's nasty, bro.
And if you put it around your hand, it really rips good. You just gotta wrap it up. No,
that's so nasty. I'm about to put a mask.
Censored.
I'm about to put a mask on my mic because this is just getting weird.
That doesn't happen to me. That was a joke, people. But for real, it happens to Richard.
Yeah, I got it on there. Can you see the Corona mask on the mic? Or it didn't load?
I don't see Jack.
No, there's nothing on the stream.
I'm looking at I watched the meeting because I can see myself live. When I watch the stream, it's really weird because I'm like 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's really far behind.
Yeah, so I try not to because it's too weird for me. I'm like, what did I just do? And then I move my hand out of the way because I had it on my face for some reason.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, it's back on my face. I don't know.
Well, I would just use it as a monitor. You know, just check over and make sure it's running. Make sure it's not weird, whatever. How's my super gay voice? I mean,
but that's great.
That
was a little too gay. Sorry, it's not good.
Can I make it lower? Does it sound lower to you?
Nope.
Really? Does it sound higher to you?
Can
I get higher?
Hold on, this light behind me is so bright. I keep putting my head over it because it's so bright. Hold on a minute. I gotta fix that.
Yeah, let's get it dark in here. It's Christmas Eve. I gotta go see the kids. We opened some gifts, but it's 8 o'clock.
All right, well, let's do that. I don't want to keep you from your family. You know?
Yeah, you know. Thanks.
We could talk forever. You know that.
I know about nothing. Like, what the fuck are you guys even talking about? Like, that's how we roll.
We're gonna get halfway through this and be like, some point they're gonna talk about something.
We just put in the description like Trump. I don't know, spending
Deep
bill
discussion on the spending bill. We talked about it for like 5 minutes.
We've discovered aliens. Proof that I don't know. White men can jump.
So I read an article recently, and maybe we should talk about this off stream, but I read an article recently about Mr. Beast. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah.
He's one of the biggest YouTubers there is.
Yeah.
He basically like broke the code of YouTube, like what people click on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting. When I first saw his channel, I knew he already had it. Then when I read this article about him, it's impressive. So if we want to break it, I know how.
Break what? Oh, the internet?
YouTube.
Oh. Well, thankfully
what my ultimate idea was a while ago, I'm going to splurge. I'm going to tell everybody right now. So somebody
Best idea ever. Spoiler alert. You trying to win? Go here.
Put that in the thumbnail. Best YouTube. So my idea, it's probably not that good, but my idea is actually to create a YouTube channel that generates a shit ton of cash. But the difference is, I use that cash and I pay off people's student loans. So one by one, people in America will have their student loans paid off by me, but it's paid for by the people because they watch.
Ooh.
All you got to do is watch. You can donate, you can buy merch, whatever. But I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna pay off your debt.
And you should stream off the website GoFundMe.
To do that. I the problem is, like, to do that full time, you literally need some kind of salary. So I don't want there to be like, there's gonna be people, I guess, that say like, oh, you're taking proceeds, and that's not the point. The point is, like, to produce, you have to create, and to create, you need time, and you need, like, he's got, like, people don't realize, like, that channel, he's got 50 employees. Like, you see him and a few of his friends, but he has 50 employees.
Dude, that's like Linus.
That's like 3 times as much as I thought. It's ridiculous.
And that's the middle class or the average man making jobs. Like, that's what people don't understand about the middle class. If you start a business, you're paying taxes, you're making jobs,
all that.
You know, and it's like, oh, but you don't pay me enough. It's like, okay, but as the employer, and yeah, I want to make more money. Who doesn't want to make more money? But you have these people, and they say, okay, you see $15 an hour, but in reality, I'm paying $30 an hour for healthcare, for taxes. So you see the 15, but in reality, you're making $30 an hour. It's just taxed.
And then the government has the audacity to send a $600 check to everybody when it's like what is that, $15 an hour for 40-hour work week?
No.
Thanks. It is.
Really?
It's 15. It's 15 without any taxes. So it's probably around 18 with taxes. But $15, no taxes taken out, is $600 on a 40-hour work week.
True. That's super simple to figure out.
It's beyond shitty.
Yeah.
Like, even 1,200 was like, what's this?
Yeah, I don't know what they mean by, like, stimulus. Like, you're stimulating a weekend. Like, that's... I can spend $600 if it's not bill day. If it's bill day, yeah, that's easy. But I can spend $600 real quick. Fucking quick, bro. And when you're a kid, you don't get that shit. But now that you're older, like, I can do a an Amazon, no verification, one click buy, see you tomorrow, you know, $400 easy. Not even fucking trying.
Yep. I was going to say I can spend $600 on TP for the month, but that's not true. That's a lot.
Yeah, so 600 divided by 40 is 15.
Yeah, $15. Yep. So that's after taxes. So, like, taxes in where we are is about a third of your pay. So a third of what's like a third of
No. You got to remember, don't you pay land tax? Do you have to pay for your water?
We have a well, so no.
Okay.
We have the best of all the worlds.
But do you have to pay for runoff off your roof? Some towns calculate that into sewage.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, they take the square feet of your roof and then they calculate that for okay. But you also pay insurance and inspection, so that's another tax. Like, just because it doesn't say tax doesn't mean it.
Right, that's true. And then your car every year, because of a road tax, and they don't even fix the road. So,
dude, remember when
they pay people to stand around in the road? That's what they do.
Remember when Connecticut was like, oh yeah, so we're just gonna tax everyone by the mile instead of putting up toll roads, and you'll just. Do you remember that or no? Yeah, and people were like, what the fuck? And then
Go ahead, try it.
Crazy ass AJ, he's been talking about this forever. He said ever since like 2011, there's black boxes in your car, just like an airplane.
Yes, they are.
It tracks all the miles and everything, and and when you allow someone to access it, then but it's just there, just tracking all the time, GPS, everything.
What's even more than that? what do you call the word where more invasive is the where your insurance company is like, here, plug this into your car and you get a discount.
You get that safe
And
driver.
it like it monitors your braking and shit.
Mhm.
You know, it's taking all the info. It's not just taking that; it's taking every bit of info that car produces and giving it to them. They're basically giving you a discount, not because you're driving, just because they're just selling your data.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get the most ridiculous ads all the time. I had to put my car in the shop again for this fucking sensor. But now,
really.
yeah. But
Wow.
now all the time, it's just car ads. Like, and all I did was Google the name of the car place and then Google the name of like the dealership. 'Cause I didn't need the name; I needed the number. And then every
Really?
single ad on YouTube, Facebook, and I have my ads turned off for the most part. I thought I did. But it's still like, yeah, bro, we know what's going on. You need a car?
Wow. Nope.
Yo? It annoys me about that Cybertruck because it's like, when's that shit coming through?
So they're building the factory right now. I would say they'd be delayed. They're not going to say it, but I would say they're delayed about a year because of COVID. They're saying that they'll make it. I think they'll make it, but like maybe the first round of vehicles, and Tesla is slow to come out with like a lot of vehicles at once. So I would say, like, yeah, they'll make it, but it'll be like the first 20,000 people who signed up. So what's that when you have 650,000 people signed up?
And
So,
they're
by
not.
the time I get mine, it's going to be 2-3 years after that. That's why I made the decision and bought a tractor that I can't afford with the truck, because I know it's going to be one.
That's like
But-
me. That's like me not buying a bottle of alcohol. Like, you know, I can afford the bottle, but I'm gonna drink that whole thing if I can get it. Yo, does this mic sound any different with the COVID mic on it?
COVID mic?
Yeah, I put a mask over the mic just so it's like filtered and stuff.
See, I can't see your video until I go to the live stream. So
Yeah, like I said, I think.
that's a microphone condom. What's that?
Yeah.
It's a microphone condom that doesn't work.
It doesn't
Is
sound. It doesn't sound any different at all.
Nope, sounds the same. Sounds good. I mean, if you got close enough, maybe it'll. That's creepy. If you got close enough, maybe it would like stop your breath. But sounds the same.
All right, man. I really appreciate you spending the time with me.
Yeah.
And
Merry
talking.
Christmas. Happy
Merry Christmas.
Christmas Eve.
This is the first. Well, no, I don't think we spent last Christmas together, but we've spent the last couple of Christmases and New Year's together, and this is gonna be the first two that it's gonna be digitally together, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say so for sure. It's been fun.
And this is why we need, in my opinion, this is why there needs to be like 3 people. Just my opinion, because I can talk about anything, but I can't go deep on stuff. And then you and I can talk about whatever, but we can only go like I feel like we steer clear of certain topics, and we just kind of skirt on the edge of stuff just because we don't want to go there. And then other people, or we could push each other to go there, but like on our own, we just need the other people.
Honestly, the more input, the better. Yeah. And a tripod is definitely stronger than 2 legs. So I pulled that from the girl next door. Remember that?
Yes, brother. I do.
Tripod, baby.
That was
Tripod is the strongest. You can't push it over. So it's 3 minds. It's all like I think the trifecta just happens to be 3. So
yeah.
I think that's what a trifecta is, actually. So.
All right, man. Well,
Devin, if you're watching or you watch this, we missed you this stream and maybe next stream. But he's got some family stuff to do. So we respect that. And
I
Merry Christmas.
guess.
Honestly, we need to do like a super long stream. Let's do one with all three of us where it's like 4 hours. Let's do a 4-hour one.
Can we have special guests, our wives, to annoy us every once in a while?
It's all fair game.
Dude, the last 2 streams, Heather gets out of work and she's like, "You didn't make me any food," and she's like yelling at me. If you go to the end of the, I gotta go delete those other streams. But if you go to the end of like
Yes.
yeah, the other 2, yeah.
That's amazing. I'm gonna go watch them at the end now.
Yeah,
No.
you have to go to like the very end of the last one. She just like busts in the room, starts yelling at me.
You're still shooting the shit with Joel.
Yeah. All right, brother.
You're like, I put the water on.
Let's call it.
All right, bro.
It's good talking to you. Oh, I didn't want no paint. That's what I wanted.
Still on. I'm doing a winky thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm ending it. I got some music on, but since you're not live streaming, you can't hear the music. I like faded it up while you were leaving.
Oh shoot! I'll mute myself.